Okay, let's say something. Say something. Friend.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Hello guys, I'm Lebogang Bondo, back for part 2. We're gonna start with the Q&A and then continue with the interview. Sorry it took forever, but I was working, so I'm back. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Thank you, I'm waiting for you.
Okay. So in this video, I'm gonna obviously be voice backgrounding, and Lewis going to just answer this first part of the Q&A. Levo, how are you, my friend?
I am gorgeous.
You are though.
I'm good.
You're so beautiful.
I'm good. Thanks, my friend.
Like, you put on makeup and like, who is this?
Look at me.
You look so beautiful, my
Thank
friend.
you, friend.
So friend, I actually just wanted to also just, ask you some of the questions, because I saw that there were people that had a lot of questions. The first one that I will go ahead and ask is, I felt there was a lot of people that felt almost as if your husband, your best friend, your friends, your sisters, your mom and your dad, your kids, it's like people were not there for you. And I remember you said the day of my divorce, you went out at home and you even thought of unaliving yourself. So I just want to find out from all of us, what could we have done
To help?
to help? Yes.
Nothing. Because I feel like everybody was there for me. I don't know how to put it, but let me say, everybody was there for me, given the fact that I never opened any door for anyone to know what was going on. So they were there for me as per my normal life, not as a depressed person, because I never really opened up about what I was going through. So it was going to be difficult for people to be there for me as a depressed person when they didn't know I was depressed. Everybody was there. Everybody was very supportive in their own way. Remember also, you cannot force people to be supportive in a way that you want. You allow people that are in your life to support you in a way that they are comfortable with supporting you. You do not force people to do the things that you want. You allow people to come in your life as they are. So everyone was supportive. My parents, forget about those two. Those are old people. They know nothing about depression. Everything is a shocker. They were even shocked that I went to a mental health institution. So with them is, we have problems, we sit down and we talk about them and we fix it. My dad says, which is and speak about it. But sometimes it's not like that. Yes, I can sit down and speak to my friends and whoever, but maybe I need a stranger, somebody that does not know me, somebody that will not feel pity for me, somebody that is gonna come to me as honest, and even if the truth is harsh and horrible, but they're going to say it. When we love people, sometimes we mask the truth. So I guess everybody was there for me with the door that I opened for them to come in with. They couldn't have known that I was depressed. So yeah, my sisters were supportive. Everybody was.
So I also just wanted to ask this question in terms of, if you remember the day before you went into the hospital, that was the day I actually realized that you were struggling. And that was because you had an outburst and you were not okay. But the days before, up until the day of my divorce, it seemed as if everything was fine. Like everything was fine. Were you pretending, or were you trying your best to close that door of showing people that I'm not feeling okay because you did not want us to ask, or you didn't want to talk to us because maybe you felt like we're gonna feel pity for you. And I think that maybe I'm asking this so that it can also just help someone out there, because if you remember well, when I found out you were going to the hospital, I took it really hard because I also blamed myself. A part of me blamed myself to say, I'm your best friend, how could I not have seen that you were struggling? But everything was perfect. And even people that actually watched my vlog the day before the actual divorce, like, we were laughing. Remember, we even vlogged in the car.
Yes.
Everything was fine. And it really did take me by shock. So I want to find out, were you like deliberately trying to hide it?
I wasn't. I'm a strong person, and trust and believe, I don't cry fella, but I'm a cry baby. So when I reach a point where everything is a lot, I sit down with myself and have a conversation with myself. Guti, let's go. This is not the time. This is, let's change the way we're doing it. Something about this situation we are in right now is not okay. So let's find a plan B. So I always have plans. If this fails, you know me very well. I always plan every day. So if I get hurt today, tomorrow I come up with a plan of that thing. If it comes back again, it will not hurt me. So because this is not my first time being hit by depression, my previous experience with depression taught me how to cope with depression. So I wasn't. It was a coping mechanism. Autopilot. And I do that a lot. Autopilot. I autopilot a lot. So when I come across a problem, I autopilot.
So, friend, the other question that I also want to ask is that you are someone that is very open. You're someone that is very loving. You give your all. You're just a great person overall, of course, darling. And obviously we all always want to be there for you, but you quite find it difficult to let people be there for you. You always want to be there for other people. How do you think we can actually pick up maybe that you are actually really struggling? How much should one push to try and be there for someone that is going through depression? Because I know that there are some days that maybe I'll call and you'll say, friend, I'm really not feeling okay, I just need this space. And obviously as a friend I also need to understand that and give you that space. But how far should one go to push but not be annoying at the same time?
For me, my background plays a huge role with how I go through stuff. You can't really be there for me, because even when I'm going through something terrible, I will still show up for the people I love. I'm here today, but we all know what is happening at home, right? But I'm here. So that's who I am. If I am there for you, I am there for you. If I ever made a promise that I will walk with you this journey called life, I will be there no matter what is going on in my life. So this is for me personally. It's okay to allow people space for other people, but not too much space. Because sometimes I say, I am not okay, please just give me a few days and I'll bounce back. And it gets a lot, it gets very dark, and then I do something that will hurt other people.
Well, so anyway, I never allow you days. Even when you say I'm not feeling okay today, I will check up on you later. Always.
You are annoying. Gee, you annoy me.
I'll never go to bed without actually checking up, or you will be like, I need space, friend. Next thing you know, friend, I'm outside.
Exactly. If I ignore her calls, she's there. And they ignore her, so they just open for her. There's no need to call and ask if they can let her in. Babula fela.
Yeah.
So, yes, let's allow people to go through things, but let's not give them too much space, because when we give them too much space, for an example, I can say, give me space. Maybe sometimes I don't need the space. Maybe me saying give me space is me saying come over, but I'm unable to say come over because I'm always there for other people. It's very difficult actually for people who are supportive to ask for help. So sometimes they say I'm okay, but actually they're saying I wish you can just drive over and give me a hug. That's all I need. Don't come to my house, don't ask me questions, just hug me, let me cry, and don't say anything. Maybe sometimes when we say we are okay, that's all we're asking for. Drive over, give me a hug. You can, after that, you can go home.
Yeah. Okay, friend. So I think this one, a lot of people obviously were talking about this, to say, you know, your husband, your significant other, you know, all this and all that. How can you explain depression to people, in terms of maybe saying you can be like with someone that is very close to you and still go through depression and still not open up? Just to clarify only on that part, because I saw a lot of people actually talking about this, and me being someone that actually knows your husband and know how the relationship that you guys have, and his reaction after the video, like what would you say about him, and obviously like your journey with depression?
So my husband is an amazing person. Does he believe hormonal depression? Well, child, that's a talk for another day. But no, I don't think he even believes hormonal depression, mulfasing. But he believes ukuthi when you are going through something, I will support you. The video backfired a lot on his side because his people were calling him. I cannot say which type of people, but his people were calling him to ask what's going on. It looked as if though he is playing a role in my depression, which he's not. Hubby and I, very busy people. We come home in the morning, all of us. So he finds me sleeping or I find him sleeping. How is he going to see that I'm depressed? We are very busy people. And for people that know us, they know very well that you will never find us together. Never find us together. So even if I was depressed, I don't think my husband would have known. Yes, he knows me for over 20 years. That guy will not know if I'm depressed. We wake up in the morning, we are all rushing and chasing something. We are always chasing. So everybody is chasing something. So we hardly sit down together and have breakfast. We hardly have, even if we can say, okay, let's meet up for lunch, for a quick lunch somewhere, it will always be cancelled because something more important than going to spend money sitting down in a restaurant happened. We chase the money in my house. So no, I don't think he was gonna see or know that I am depressed. Yes, he realized and noticed that I'm losing a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, it's a shocker to a lot of people, but I guess this time my depression came back in a different form. Losing of weight and not eating. That's when he realized something was wrong. And he asked, a few weeks before I went to hospital, he asked, what's wrong with you? And I was like, nothing. He's like, you're losing a lot of weight. And I said, I just don't have appetite. So he made it a point that he'll call in the morning to ask if I had breakfast. He'd call and find out if I had dinner. He knows that I'm not a foodie. So if I have breakfast, that means I will only go have dinner. Or I will have breakfast, at least I had like 1 meal per day. If I had breakfast, he'll never call again. But if I didn't eat, he'll then call and ask if I had dinner. So he noticed I was losing weight, but he's not a doctor. He's not a professional, so he didn't know I was depressed.
And I think that something that I also just have to say is that me obviously knowing you guys for over a year now, obviously, I also do want to just say that before Lebu actually went to the hospital, your husband actually called me and he was very much concerned about what was going on, and obviously he knows that I'm your best friend, so he thought that maybe like
You know something.
I know something. And so I also just told him to say, listen, I'm driving to your house right now because she's not okay. I don't know what is going on. And I feel like, we were both really genuinely concerned and worried about you. But the way that things were going, I think a professional was the one that could best help you. And when we were actually laughing about, we don't think he believes that there's depression. It's actually an inside joke, because the same day he was like, Kahana. But I think people also need to just understand that depression is depression,
and it's a silent killer.
Yes, it's a silent killer. So is there any other thing that you'd like to say? Maybe just go ahead and clarify. Maybe the other question that I also just wanted to ask was me specifically, being your best friend and obviously also just going through the divorce. Did you ever feel like maybe I was just so self-absorbed that I couldn't realize what was going on with you?
Bitch, you're going through a divorce. There's no time. Divorces are messy, and as much as we can celebrate when it's done, we're actually celebrating the hardships of it, how it happened. Because remember, you start knowing who you were married to during divorce. You see you can see their colors while you are still together, but you will see their true colors when you are separating, when you're getting a divorce. Because now there's no one that is like, I don't know how to put it. We don't have to be nice anymore. I guess anything. I don't need anything from you, so why must I be nice? So no, you were not. You were there for me when I needed you to be there for me as best as you could, because you're an amazing person, and you supported me during my pregnancy, which was very difficult, and you were also going through divorce at that time, and I was not returning a favor. I was not returning a favor. I was being there for a sister that needed me at the time. So you were not being selfish. You were just going through a lot. You'd miss so many blind spots because you were also just dealing with a lot. So no, you are an amazing person, friend, a beautiful human being. So you didn't miss anything. You were fighting. You were not only fighting divorce, you were fighting that other person that spreads things and says things about you. So it was not only divorce, but it was other. Matimoninyana atang.
Wait, I didn't mean to laugh.
I mean, kidding, Mar. I mean, but yeah.
Fire.
Mole. But yeah, no, you were not. You also had other. A friend, it's one thing to get married, because when we have a wedding, we have hundreds and hundreds of guests at our wedding. But we forget that marriage is for two people. Everybody leaves after the wedding. After the wedding is done, we now start with the marriage. Marriage is for two people. Two egos, everything, and we clash a lot. So when we go through divorce, some of those egos that we were toning down, we are no longer toning them down. we are allowing every cat to come out of the sack. And we fight, and everybody is fighting for survival of who is going to win the battle. How do I expect you to see that I'm depressed when you are depressed yourself? So you were supportive and having to deal with other people that are just trying to build themselves up with tarnishing other people's names.
No, yeah. I think also, like, for me, you know, obviously, I mean, we have had many conversations, and there was a part of me that also, like, kind of blamed myself a bit. Like, why could you not have seen, you know? And I tried to look back, and everything just seemed like
Okay.
yes, everything just seemed okay. And so, yeah, I also think, like, maybe what advice would you give, like, you know, for people that are obviously close to someone that is going through depression, and that person is not as open, like, you know, they're like, and I feel like you literally take me as your baby sister. You know, you always want to shield me.
Yes, and
it's
protect
so weird.
you.
Yeah, you know, because if we stand next to each other, like, it's a mess.
Who's the baby?
Exactly. And you know, I went through depression and everything during the divorce, and my baby sisters never saw anything. And there's a lot of times that they've called me and they're like, you know, you can talk to us, but I'm always like, I don't want to burden them. You understand?
With what I'm going
with
through.
what I'm going through. So even if I'm not okay, they'll ask, and sometimes I'll dismiss it. I'm like, no, I'm okay, you know, and this and that. So what are the signs that maybe someone that is trying to be there for someone can actually, like, catch on?
So depression has so many symptoms for different people. Others, when they're depressed, they eat a lot, so their eating habits change. Others don't eat at all. This is it for me in my case. And others sleep. That was you.
Yeah.
And others are antisocial. They just don't want to be around people. There's so many symptoms, but if you are closer to a person, you are able to pick up if and when something is wrong. But sometimes we are around people and we spend so many years with people, but because they're self-centered, they will never see that we are depressed, because they make every conversation about themselves. You know those people?
Feeling there's someone you're talking about.
They make every conversation about themselves. Guys, sometimes we just listen to another person. Give advice when it's necessary. Sometimes and not even have an opinion.
Yeah.
There's one friend of mine whom I will call, and before I even tell her, I'll say, oh, I give her opinion how because she's a detective. It's like and when you are depressed, I don't think you really need so many questions. So don't make conversation about you. Listen to them, advise on what they are saying. There are some days that it's not about you and it's about the next person. Just show up and be there for them.
Yeah. And not ask too many damn questions.
Please. Please.
So I also just want to find out, how are you right now? I'm gorgeous.
I'm gorgeous, gorgeous girl.
How are you, friend?
I'm surviving. I'm surviving. I can never say I'm okay. I'm surviving. Every day I wake up and I choose to live. That's all I can do. It's wake up and choose to live. We mask depression. We would like to keep it and never even speak about it. And I guess when we did this video and it backlashed on hubby, it's not because it backlashed because of Kiena, but people are just thinking when a woman is depressed, it has something to do with marriage. And It's not in most cases. In some cases, yes, because there's a lady that said on the comment section, if I still remember very well, remember now my brain, parts of it was chowed by COVID. So if Kitlo quote her wrong, please, I beg, don't come for me, don't attack. She said her husband was very abusive and all, and she got depressed because of it. In most cases, it's marriage? No. In most cases, it's work. People go corporate a lot. You wake up and go kwa Satan, and because you need the salary, you will go kwa Satan. So in most cases, for me, it was not umshado. It's not umshado. It's work. And obviously, you know what I do for a living. That thing is it's hardcore. Satan in your qobolwakhe. So how do you expect me to wake up and be okay every day and not stress about other things? So and also, guys, we should stop this blame game of, if I'm depressed, there's somebody I need to blame. And why don't I look at myself and ask myself, what is getting me depressed? What is making me depressed? Because all the time when I in your stories, there's always a third party. Like, you never take ownership of why you are where you are, how you landed in the position where you are. In my case, I landed myself in this situation. I decided 6 years ago, I decided I don't want to work anymore. I want to go be a business woman. I knew it was not going to be easy, but I didn't know it was going to be this hard. I didn't know it will require me 24/7 of my time, taking away from family time, taking away from holidays, taking away from everything. And it takes the center of everything while you are, like, business takes over your life when you are still starting it from scratch. How will you not get depressed if you stop going to Rockets to have fun?
I remember the one of the nights when we were in Cape Town last year. There was an emergency at work and we did not sleep the whole night. Stressed, imagine, like, was so far away. You can't just run to the side. Yeah, now you're calling this and that. And I remember that night I was like, wow, this is really stressful. Because literally, I think we went to bed I passed out around past 4 to 5 a.m. the whole night trying to, solve. And on top of that, like, in communication with your husband, like, this is happening, it was really stressful. And so I think maybe people just see the glitz and glam
of business, right?
Yes.
And it's like, wow, I want that life.
Yeah. But it's a lot that actually goes into your work specifically. So yeah.
So my work is demanding, and even if I would want to run away from it, I can't. Certain things, yes, you can set up, and somebody will come into the comment section and says, but why are you not setting up structures? I have structures, strong structures. Like, my foundation is strong. Even the storm will not come and destroy it. But this is life. Things happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I have to show up myself.
Would you say falling pregnant and obviously having such a stressful pregnancy, giving birth and everything that happened, that was also a major factor that played into the breaking down?
Definitely, yes. I'd be in the waiting room at the hospital waiting to see my gynae, and I'll have an emergency at work and I will stress about it. And by the time I go into the doctor's room, already my BP, everything is high. Thankfully I get a BP, but already I'll be upset and I'll get more bad news also. So the timing of it, maybe it wasn't a good one, but it was a planned one. But just work just, like I said, work takes over my life. So it never relaxed. It doesn't know how to relax.
Yeah. And obviously we can't say don't work because we need that money. Yeah, we need that money. So going to the hospital, from a scale of 0 to 10, how much would you say it helped you?
Honestly, I'll give it a 6-ish. You learn how to manage your triggers in hospital. You learn how to be selfish with your time. But it's easy to do and exercise these things while in hospital because there's no one there. There are no visitors. So you can easily shut the door for everyone because you are in there for 21 days. And then you come out. And people around you, when you start exercising what you learned in hospital, is like, now we're now selfish.
Yeah.
You have changed. And they don't understand that you are just trying to get better. But because they know you as the person that shows up for them, it's very difficult for them to also adjust that now you need to be showing up for yourself. Remember, we grow up as girls with dreams, big dreams. I wanted to be a model.
Well,
I tell you, I believed
which you can still be.
That's not my kind of. It has its people. But so when we growing up in the rural areas of Limpopo, well, part of it was there, and then we all have big dreams. Babang wabatla the Cinderella dresses. They wanna get married. They wanna have kids. They see themselves as housewives of what, and trust and believe when I say I never had a dream of a Cinderella dress. I never saw marriage as part of my journey. I wanted to achieve, like, live a lux, drive big cars and everything. So I was always inspired by people who are living soft life. My era kyabo mandisa nakana ko yo TV, Busha Day Gilberti, Pakebang Konje, Holisani Ravel. That was my era. And Wabana never pilam nat and TV, and like I made sure Hatuta Skolong I sit down and watch those girls. And I was like, shit. If I can do something like that. So I had dreams of, for a girl from a rural area, and it was an impossible dream to have. Like, look at you now.
I'm saying like unrealistic.
Yes, very, yes. But look at you now, all the way from Venda, and right now you are known everywhere. But who could have thought?
Yeah.
So Linda, it will still shock people. But that's where I've always wanted to be. And when people say marriage, it's not an achievement, I believe it's not. But it does not mean we must not get married. That's not what it says. It just says, let's not focus and prioritize life. Let's go get our dreams. Our dreams sometimes can depress us.
Yeah.
I'm the proof, a living one. My dreams as a child are the ones that are depressing me. I wanted to live a luxurious life.
Which you do.
No. No. I'm not anywhere near where I want to go. But that means I'm depressed, and I need to make peace with the fact that I'm depressed. I just need to know how to deal and handle my depression.
So you touched on something that I feel is very important, that, you know, coming out of the hospital and having to exercise the things that you were being taught, you know, and having to adjust with people that are outside. I won't even lie, that was not easy.
You took it personal?
I actually did. I took it personal. I remember the other day when Mall of Africa and I was crying like a baby.
And I was just standing there trying to talking to me. It's just talking about me.
I think I just want to find out, like, for someone that is just coming out of the hospital, what advice would you give people that the person is coming out to? Because it also, I feel like this depression journey, it affects you and the people around you, because a lot of stuff needs to change. And obviously I then had to understand that the reason why you had to go in there was because the structure that was there was not working for you. So some things had to change, and you also had to prioritize yourself as well. So what advice would you give people that are now having to deal with someone that is coming back from the hospital? And also with your own experiences, what would you give advice to someone that maybe is about to come back from the hospital, to expect, and maybe how to best cope and handle?
For a person that is coming out of hospital, as we are talking, you and I right now, is allow yourself the process to heal. When you are outside, your triggers will always be there every day. Our triggers, friend, the spaces we live in are triggers a lot. Certain things that happen, they just reminds you of, oh Mudim, not again. Because remember, if you are depressed because of work, when you come out, where do you go?
Work.
So allow yourself the process to heal. Allow yourself to adjust at your own time. So what they have, where in the hospital that I was in, you can have couples therapy. You can have your whole family come in, and then so that they can understand where you are with your depression. But if we don't have those sessions, like in my case, and you come out, it's gonna be difficult for people around you to know that things have changed, because they don't know what you went through when you were in hospital, what you learned when you were in hospital. Because you don't come out of your sessions and you pick up the phone call and start discussing your session with your family members. You go sit down and discuss it with this new family members that you formed in there, because you relate a lot with them. You have so much in common, but we forget the only common thing we have with those people that we meet in there most of the time is the fact that we are depressed. We don't have anything in common with them apart from depression. And we understand each other like that. And now that we learn how to be nice and to ourselves and advise each other nicely and well, we feel, oh my goodness, it's a safety net with these people. So now you shut out everyone thinking this is it. But 21 days it comes to an end, and you go back to Owamies that think, oh my goodness, I did this, is that? Oh, you met new people. Which new people? People making things about them, ne?
It's like I can see headlines. Owamie is selfish.
And you only understood what I was going through after a clip that you sent to me.
Yeah.
Of that girl that I was with in hospital, and she came a week before I went out. And that's when you actually understood what I was going through.
Yeah.
But all the time you were not understanding.
Yeah, it was really difficult, I won't lie, guys.
So if that video was not there, mhlambe our friendship netlabe ili rokinyana, I think.
I think, I don't think Rocky. I feel like you and I are actually tighter than, like,
Depression.
Depression. Like, you are my nigga, do you get it? You know. But I feel like at that time I was definitely not understanding a lot. Like, there was a lot of stuff that I was just not understanding, and I think maybe this will also help someone who has a friend that went in and the friend is coming out and they're feeling the way that I was feeling, because it was almost as if, like, at that time I felt like maybe I would call and you're like, friend, like, you know, I don't really want to talk, you know, and so I'll be like, okay, but then maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow we'll be talking and like, oh yeah, I actually went and visited this friend, you know, this friend was going through this and I went visited them. So I kind of took it personal, like, okay, so you don't have time to like talk to me and be with me for me, but you have got time for your new friends that you actually met in there. And it was something that obviously a lot of adjustment had to happen. I think I had expectations of you are gonna go in
And
when
I
you
come back
out, it's that level. Yeah, it's like you went for service.
Yes,
You need to come back on spot mode. You know. And I remember when you came back from the hospital, you didn't tell me that I'm coming back on this
Nobody
day.
knew.
Nobody knew. So
Actually, I wanted to Uber myself back.
wow. I mean, I didn't know it was that horrible. You know. And I remember you actually saying, oh friend, I'm actually back. I'm like, wait, you're out and you didn't tell me? Like, yeah, I came back yesterday, but you know, I'm just not feeling too well, and you were on site. And do you remember I insisted and immediately drove to your site and I was like, I just wanted to see you. And honestly, friend, it was so heartbreaking because it was like I could see my best friend and I don't want to get emotional. But it was almost as if I
We're
was
not crying
seeing,
today.
No, today we're not crying. It was almost as if I was seeing a blank page. Like, I know this person, but it's like I don't know this person.
They're even thinner than what they were when they went in.
It was so weird. Like, it was almost as if you were so detached from reality. And even when we had conversations, it was just that thing of, okay, checking up, that's it. But it didn't feel like
Your friend.
it didn't feel like my friend, you know. And so yeah, it was really honestly quite tough. I think also because I was now going through like hell myself. And yeah, maybe I am a baby, you know. Sometimes I feel like I am a baby. Yeah, I'm so used to, you know, like
Having me present
all the time. And I had to adjust to the fact that, you know, there are certain things that we're not gonna share, and there were certain things that I started not telling you because I felt like, oh, if I tell you, I'm gonna be depressing. So it was really honestly like touchy and go. I'm not sure, like, okay, what should I do? Is this gonna be a trigger? How can I be there for you? Some days I'll be like, let me push through, you know, so that obviously I go the extra mile, and then I feel like, am I doing too much? Like, what should I do? And so I think that, yeah, that was really actually quite tough. Yeah.
So remember when I went in with depression and anxiety for that treatment, and when I got there, I got the 2 other diagnoses, and 21 days it's a short period of time to actually digest everything and get used to everything. Like, some questions you've asked, and I feel like Some I answered them well, and some I just off-ramped because the only thing right now, as you were asking, I could grasp is the last question, and all the others I've forgotten about them. Like I said, when you said how are you, and I said it's I'm surviving. That's my daily. I will forget a lot of things, and I forget a lot of important things also, and I beat myself up for it. And because if I forget something about work, it shows that I am not doing my job, but I am. It's just that the next person will not understand that I am doing my job. Going back to what you were saying, I think I was there, but I was not really there because I was just figuring things out. Figuring everything out. Now I'm not depressed anymore only, and I have anxiety only. I have OCPD, and there's parts of my brain that was eaten by COVID. So it's a lot for one person to heal from all of that and come back a brand new person. Unfortunately, we don't go to hospital to come back like a car that goes in for service, and it must come with new brakes, new wipers, engine oil and all, filter oil, whatever it is, filter pipe. No, we go there as the same person and we come back as the same person. We just choose to do better. But depression also chooses us every single day. We just choose to live and love life. Some days are better than others. So my healing is, I speak about my depression lately on my Instagram posts a lot, just to make others aware of where I am. I posted, I think 3 weeks ago, but I archived the post. And then after I've posted other pictures, and then I took it back to the posts, so it's there. I am appreciating the little girl. I think I was 10 years old there. I'm appreciating the little girl that walked the journey of life with me, that we had so many dreams. Some of them are so crazy, but look at us now. Who could have thought we will be here? But here we are.
Yeah.
But here we are with depression. Here we are with anxiety. Here we are with OCPD. Here we are with parts of our brain that we will never get back, that is gone. Meaning a part of my life, a part of me, it's gone and it's unrecoverable. Yes, they say I can go on steroids and whatever, but I don't do trial things. Get trial. It's not guaranteed that after going to do whatever that they say that I must go do, I will remember everything. Yet I still go to school. If I forget a question, go exam. It's fine. I'll go back next year and rewrite.
Make a plan.
Nah.
I will hustle.
I do not give up. So I choose the things that choose me. So if education is what is choosing me, I will choose it. If my people, like my friends, the ones that are choosing me are the ones that I'm choosing. And I guess I'm trust and believe. I was the one that will call people and ask, how are you? How are the kids? Sissy, if I do that this month and you don't do the same for me, trust and believe. Dimkil, I'm a gone girl.
Gone.
No, gone. I've realized that most of the people that I was admitted in hospital with are people with good hearts.
Yeah.
Even when they were in hospital, they were still receiving calls from their friends who are complaining. It's like, no, I can't deal. That's why my phone is off, and I told everybody I'm unreachable. You will not be able to speak to me. Because even when you tell people I'm in a mental health institution, they still have time to call you and tell you about their own problems. But you are dealing with yours. Already your own ones are landing you in hospital. How are you going to advise another person with theirs?
I mean, I'm sorry for laughing, Fred, but this is so funny.
What's funny?
A bunch of good people in one room going to therapy and everything. But that is actually so true. Yeah.
And my last post, I think, if not yesterday or 2 days ago, I posted about appreciating myself, that you walked this journey with me with grace and courage. I'm telling myself that. I need to tell myself that every day. Hence I said, I'm surviving, but every day I choose life. I choose to speak positivity into my own life. I said, thank you for walking this journey with me with grace and courage. I love and appreciate you so much. Because if I was weak, it means I wouldn't be sitting here with you today.
Yeah.
You'll be speaking about me in past tense. But I chose to come sit here and speak and try and help the next person if I can.
Yeah.
If this is helpful for the next person. But choose yourself every day. Choose to be it's okay to be selfish. Love yourself more and forget about them that think you found new friends.
Hebo, which is them now?
Cinderella shoe fits, ne?
Wow!
Take it and run with it, Mtase.
No, but we definitely moved past that, right? I think that period happened for like maybe a week.
But we laugh about everything.
We laugh about everything. And I think, yeah, that video, so basically the video that we were talking about, it was of a lady that was in a mental hospital. I also didn't even know that you were in the same hospital. And so she was explaining the difficulties of when you come out and everything. And I really honestly just saw that video and I saw everything that you were saying. And I feel at that moment it was like, oh my gosh, because I took it personally. I thought it's me, this is just about me. But when I saw that and I saw that she was going through the same things that you were going through, I was like, oh my God, like this is not even about me. And so I think that from there, that was when I actually like removed myself from that situation. And I also just, started to just, I feel like we definitely eased things into it. So I wasn't as pushy anymore. And I wasn't as, constantly trying to have things exactly the way that they were. But I feel like
they
now
gradually went back to where they were.
Definitely have. And I feel like we're actually in a much more healthier relationship now. Friendship before was a my lesbian. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, there's nothing.
Of course.
Definitely nothing wrong with that.
So, yeah, but I'm honestly just so glad and I'm so happy that you took the route of actually going to the hospital. I remember I told you that the day that you actually went in,
you cried.
I mean, you know me, I'm a crybaby, but I had an event and I was actually the MC there, so I had to hold it all and together. Yeah. But after that event, I missed you so much, and I also missed Khotso so much. I drove to the house and I got in the house, and the moment I saw Khotso friend,
imagine you were feeling like that and I had taken my life.
Because the first thing that when I got there, I actually saw the legend. It was the time that you were constantly driving with the legend. And I don't know why, but immediately I got into your house, like seeing that car hit me. Like I could have literally been here and it was the worst case. And I remember from there I was like, I'm gonna actually just hold myself. And I got in there. Slay Queen, who's your baby sister, she comes, we're talking, I'm holding Khotso, and somehow it was like holding Khotso was actually holding a piece of you, and Khotso is busy playing with my face because he loves it when I have makeup on.
No, he loves that.
It's like, I want the slay auntie. And I remember like when we went out, I actually did call Slay Queen, and I was like, if you guys need me, please just shout, anything. And I remember, friend, for the first time, like, she broke down, and I also I had to be an older sister now to Slay Queen, and I couldn't have her like see me cry. And I held myself, but when I tell you the drive home, I was crying the whole N1, and it was so scary because I didn't know how am I going to deal with not having you for 21 days, and also just thinking of the baby. I know, like, I don't know why I'm crying. I'm such a cry baby, but I think sometimes people just don't understand that you can literally love someone so much and want to be there for them, but not know how to be there for them,
and also that you can be so successful, and still be hit by depression.
Thank you.
Of course, success that depression can't. That's
You're not
why are you making me cry? Don't make me cry.
I think it's just because of that day. That day was actually very difficult. And I think it was also very much difficult for all of us, because honestly, friend, you really are like the glue that keeps everything and everyone together. And so having that removed, it all hit us unexpected.
But I feel like it made you guys realize that I'm a human being myself.
It definitely did. It was a huge wake-up call. And because if you think about it, like throughout the pregnancy, if ever there was any emergency, like even when there was no emergency, like I was always there. I was constantly driving to your house, like just to make sure the checkups. I always wanted to be there. And when you gave birth, it was like, oh, I'm okay now. I'm this level that is okay. I remember when Khotso was still in the hospital, every single day I would make sure that I drive and I wait by the hospital just to make sure that I say that you are okay. And there was the one day that I actually was in Pretoria, because I can't remember, I was preparing for my trip to Lesotho, and I didn't come to the hospital with you, and that was the day that it was actually even bad. And when I spoke to you, you said no, everything is fine, but somehow I felt it in me that no, man, before I even came home, I was with a friend. I was like, we're gonna drive there, you're gonna stay in the car, because she was going through it. And when I got there, your eyes were all swollen and everything, and I remember it just broke my heart. I was like, if you called me, I would have immediately dropped everything and just come. And I think after Khotso was born, after Khotso came home, we all knew we were out of the woods. Everything was fine. I feel like we all now just started to see you as back to superwoman. You're just someone that is there for everyone and everything. And even I just felt, oh, okay, you know what, like we are now fine. But yeah, it definitely did actually show us that you are actually human, and it was quite scary. It was honestly quite scary I feel like for all of us. Yeah,
it was scary for myself, but through it all, I learned and realized I'm not a superwoman. Not everybody deserves a piece of me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be there for everyone. I'm gonna be there for my people that choose me, and I'm going to choose them. If you give me 50%, I will give you 50%. But if you give me 100, I will give you 100. I think that's how my healing is going.
And I think, friend, ever since you came back from the hospital, you're able to control your emotions so much better now. If it was the old Lebu, who would be bowling right now because I cried, you would have definitely going to start.
And I feel like I don't retaliate immediately if something pisses me off. I take my time. and I will not give it the same energy that I know it deserves, because I'm much calmer and I've analyzed everything. I've looked at the worst case scenario and everything. I'm just calm. I'm a very, very calm person.
I'm definitely sure that's happy. You can pick it. But okay, so what would you say in closing of just everything?
What have I learned? I have learned that it's okay not to be okay. It's also okay not to help everyone. It's okay to be selfish, love yourself more, and appreciate yourself more. That's what I've learned. And I've learned that I have beautiful people. I'm surrounded by beautiful people. People that love me and genuinely care about me, even though I'm unable to ask for help when and if I need it. But my people are there. They love me and they care about me a lot. She's crying.
I love you so much, friend.
I know.
You have no idea, like you're literally the only person in my life that I feel I'm not related by blood, but
It's like we are.
it's like I was born to be your friend. I was born for this. And like I feel like I also try my best to just be there for you as much as I can, because what I've realized is that with you, you're someone that if you don't want to talk about something, you don't want to talk about it. And so I'll always try to say, okay, let me diverge and we can talk about something else. Then the day that you decide I'm gonna like pick it up again, you know, like it will be bit and bit. Yeah, we'll speak about it. But like seeing you the way that you were, it literally almost broke me, you know, because it was honestly just so difficult. I mean, we have so much in private that obviously we share and everything, but there's a video that I actually took of you the day you were going. Do you remember? And I was like,
you and I was looking
I'll see you when you're back and you're fat. And you've gained weight so that you see.
And I came back thinner.
Yeah, you came back thinner, and I had to hold my tears back because, girl, I had makeup and I was the MC. And I just want you to know that, friend, we love you so much. And I know that is all of us, you know, because especially that time, everyone was just trying their best to survive. And I think that everyone was definitely rocked with this. Like, I mean, hubby was also rocked, you know, your husband was, your sister before they'll be like, hey, hubby. No, I mean Papa Gam, obviously. And you know, your sisters also were dealing with this. Everyone around was also dealing with, you know, just everything, you know. And you're such an important person in our lives, and we really honestly truly appreciate you. We appreciate everything you do for us. We appreciate the fact that, you know, you just love so genuinely, and it's impossible for us that are so close with you to not love you. And don't ever in a single day feel like you can ever be alone. And I remember just the day before my divorce, I called you and I was like, friend, can we promise each other that
don't take me there, I don't wanna cry.
You know, I told you, I was like, can we be the last person we call if we ever
anything
think of taking our lives, because we both do battle with depression. And I was like, can we please be sisters, you know, in this, like. And you said yes, you know. And I think when you actually had the breakdown and you had to go, it was like very scary for me to say it could have literally been
worse.
And that was the part that actually like really scared. But I just want you to know that you're so loved, you're so appreciated,
even when my OCP PD gets.
We are used to that now. They were telling you something that we already knew. Okay, when you were telling me about the diagnosis, I was like, oh, I knew that. Like, okay,
I already diagnosed you.
I already diagnosed you, and I actually remind you of a time that we were actually talking, and you kept on saying, "Friend, I don't remember that," and I legit thought this girl is
crazy
trying to play me because there's no way we spoke last week,
and you don't remember.
And you don't remember that, and so after the diagnosis, my heart literally broke because I was like, I literally blamed you, and
like, but how do you forget? No, friend, why get this?
Yes, that's what I said, and it was,
especially like a stock fair.
It was about the stock fair. I was like, hey, well, how? And so after that, that was when I actually realized, oh my God, like you were literally telling the truth. You couldn't remember
anything,
and before you went to the hospital, it had gotten worse. Yeah, because we would talk today and tomorrow you can't remember anything,
and that's still the case most of the time.
Well, I hope you
and I think my my mind chooses what it wants to forget and what it wants to remember.
Yeah,
if it's intense, it just chooses to shut it down.
Yeah,
but if it's something playful, something nice, I will remember it.
Yeah,
in most cases. So love yourself more. Appreciate yourself more. Go solo dates. Go out for coffee. Go out for a walk. Reflect.
And I always wanted to secretly join you every time I saw you doing solo dates. I was like,
Keating.
Constantly. I was like, huh?
And you'll say, Lewis coming for Owamie. Owamie have a peace of mind. Like she cannot allow me to just.
No, but I have changed. I'm no longer like that though, right?
She'll even be had to dating Giliwan.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm your best friend. Why am I not there with you? Wait, is it me? You don't want to be with me?
Yeah, is it me? No, it's not you, it's me.
Friend, did I do anything wrong?
No, it's not okay? You, it's me. And your people were like, Lebo must relax. I understand. Depression. We have depression. I relax now. Right now I'm thinking, devil all over. So relax, sayang. I am relaxed, guys. But get depression. We laugh about it. We joke about it. Because women, I laugh about it.
We do though. Like literally the worst could be happening. We look at each other and we just
start laughing. Because we have no solution for it.
I'm telling you. So yeah.
If anything, I hope the video helped. If anything, I hope my coming out has kind of clarified certain things for certain people. And let's go work hard and try survive depression.
And I think that the other part that I'll go ahead and say is that if you are someone that was very close with someone and the person was going through depression, and during that time you guys' friendship, and it was a solid friendship, somehow like you got a break, I think that it's actually very important to actually like rekindle such relationships, unless if maybe the other person felt you were the one depressing them. I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but at most times what
and a non-depressor whore.
I'm afraid, Genie.
But you know what I've realized with our society? We instead of saying one stressor, rather one depressed.
Yeah.
I don't think we really understand how intense depression is.
Yeah.
It's intense.
It's definitely not stress.
It's not stress. It's everything. Roller coaster, hurricane, mixed together, turmoil. It's everything.
Yeah.
And people with depression are kind of mean.
Yeah, they can be. There was a time where you were mean. And you would like lash out
a lot.
Yeah.
I am mean when I'm sinking deeper into depression. I become a mean person.
I remember the other day you like shouted at me. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Nah, shout.
Not shout, you snapped. And I think that was the first time, so I was also kind of taken back, but it was over the phone.
Is it?
Yeah, I was driving to Owamie actually that day, and yeah, but it was the first time, and I was like, something is wrong. But I didn't take it personal because I was like, something is wrong. And I think that time you were also talking about unaliving a lot, and you remember when you asked me, and I yelled at you back that day because I was so scared. I was like, you'll be so selfish, like that's a selfish move. People that do that, but I was like literally just so scared of losing you, and which is why I decided to call you that day to say let's be each other's buddy. Yeah, but I'm really glad that you chose life. I'm glad that you chose to still be with us,
and I still choose to be with you guys, even when you annoy me.
Us, even though we annoy you, even though we use you.
Yeah, a lot.
Even though we want money
that we do not have.
We do.
Don't believe everything you hear.
So nice. Yeah, I think that is it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for making me cry.
Yes, and I did not cry.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of myself. I'm handling my emotions very, very, very well.
I think I'm the one that now needs to go to the hospital.
Yes, you do. I must call them.
Yeah, you should. But I think that I'm only a crybaby when it's something that affects someone that I love so much. If you have seen also with me, you can do a lot to me. I take a lot. But when it's like someone that is close to my heart, yeah.
That's always like that.
Yeah.
That's always like that. And we are always trying to make the little girl in us very proud.
Yeah.
So we must always strive to make the little girl or little boy inside of us to make them proud.
Yeah.
And it's okay even when you're a guy to say I am depressed and I'm not okay.
Yeah.
And find people that understand what is depression.
That's true.
And you can be rich. I will say this over and over and over again. You can live in a comfortable house, drive a big car or whatever, but still be depressed. Imali, imfundo, and a peaceful marriage as a show that you won't be depressed. You can actually be very depressed and you have it all to figure. You think you just have it all figured out, but you don't.
Yeah.
You feel like crying? Go to the shower.
Yeah, I mean, your shower knows a lot.
A lot. A lot.
You're just thinking of it now.
How loyal my shower is.
I'm telling you, I wish I can actually be a fly and be in that shower. So that I hear everything and then I know like, okay, this is what I can do now. Like, this is what I can do now.
But let's speak and listen to people without a judgmental mind.
Yeah.
Don't be judgmental. Listen and shy away from judging the next person.
Yeah. True. Okay, my friend, you can say bye to all the ninjas.
Thank you so much, my ninjas. You are mine, and Ninja Nation. I love you so much, guys. Thank you.